Good day, gents. Today I thought I'd share my opinion on the new Mark V. Well, I'll just get right into it. I mean, it's no surprise that the thing that I'm confused about. Okay, I might rant a little bit here. Is everybody hated this car when they showed this car. It's gonna be released. Show the car. Everybody hates it. Oh, it's ugly. It's this. It's that. It's horrible. It's a BMW. Like it's all I've seen for 6, 7, 8, 9, like a year. So finally, these cars show up at the dealership, and everybody's buying them. There's $60,000 car, and in some cases, there's been a $40,000 premium put on these. These cars have sold for over $100,000. Why? Where's everybody that likes them? Like, where's everybody like them before? I don't understand. I mean, ultimately, I guess if you're offended by the car, I mean, I really don't know. I feel bad for you. You better turn off everything. Better turn off your Instagram. Better turn off Facebook. Better turn off YouTube. You should probably just move to a desolate cabin in the woods if you're offended by this car, because it's just beginning. It's just starting. These Mark V's are going to be everywhere. They're going to be all over the place. I mean, they're running like 11s, pulling 500 plus on the dyno with a tune and a downpipe. Like, get real. This is going to be a 10-second car with, the guy's going to buy one of these things, spend $5,000 on it, it's going to run 10s. It's going to be right beside your Ferrari. It's going to be right beside your Porsche. It's going to be right beside your Lambo. It's going to be and brand new, like all the amenities in the world. I mean, all your options. And you can drive it to the racetrack. You can drive it to quarter mile. You can drive it home. Take it on road trips. It's just beginning. So I mean, if you're offended by this car, you should probably just move to, like, I don't know, Belize. I mean, TV's hard to come by there. I mean, maybe move there, somewhere where they don't have stuff. Somewhere third world. For those that like it, just wait. I have no doubt in my mind, no doubt that that engine in this car is going to make 1,000 on the stock bottom end. It's just a race to see who's going to do it first. Yeah, the head design's kind of weird, how the exhaust ports are internal and you have the two external ports that you can see. That's kind of weird. It's weird that the timing chain's on the back of the engine too. You can't use a conventional engine stand with this engine. You need like some sort of a engine mount arrangement. It's gonna be a good time. Personally, aesthetically, it's not really for me. That FT1 concept looked like a jet fighter, a spaceship, and a Lexus LFA all kind of got blended together and spilled out. I mean, it was good. I would have bought one if it looked like that. Ultimately, why I don't think Toyota went that far, and maybe that's why they called the FT1 the FT1, and not, a Supra. It's because I don't think they wanted to take away from the LFA. Let's be honest here, and we can be honest. We're adults. That FT1 looked deadly, right? LFA looks deadly. Yeah, it's an engineering marvel. I'm all about that V10 in that car. It's up there. But really, if you could buy something that didn't cost you $400,000, that looked like a lightning super death fighter car, I mean, and it was comparable in performance, what would you buy? You wouldn't buy the LFA. You'd have two FT1s. One for the day-to-day, and one for the weekend. I mean, or that's what I'd do anyway if I had $400,000 to spend and they actually put these things into production. I wouldn't buy an LFA. And I think that's really why. It's another conversation. But the Mark V, I think it's going to be everywhere. I mean, it's a race to see who can make 1,000 first. That's what all super guys want to see. Unfortunately, a lot of super guys have kind of rejected it. And yeah, it's, right now it's a bit of an ugly duckling, but what I'll say is, and not to, talk about Nissans, um, but the GTR was ahead of its time. And I mean, what now? I mean, you can ask any automotive enthusiast, anyone in the world. Doesn't matter you speak English or not. I mean, you show them a picture of a GTR, 8 to 80 years old, they know it's a GTR. I mean, so maybe this car is just a little bit ahead of its time. I think it is. It'll take some time for the community to grow into it. But ultimately, I think, Toyota felt it was a worthy successor to the Mark IV, and I won't call them wrong at this point. It seems like it's doing all the stuff the super guys want to do, and road course stuff. Stuff I've seen, reviews, what I've read, what I've seen on YouTube and stuff like that is, I mean, it inspires confidence. And not in professional drivers, people like you and me, people with maybe limited seat time behind the wheel. They're not entirely sure what the car's trying to tell them when they're putting it around the track. I mean, from what I see, it inspires confidence. That means it's going to drive narrow. It's going to have a good balance. Tires, suspension, stuff like that. All the track rats. Obviously, you're gonna change all that stuff anyway. But from an out of the box car, it looks like you can bring this car out of any corner on any whatever your line's gonna be and just carry it out onto a popsicle stick. It looks like it's inspiring confidence in people like that. So I mean, it can't be bad. I'm excited to drive one. I can't wait. I mean, there is one here local in my Toyota dealership, but I don't want to go there and attempt to make a regrettable decision. Maybe it's not the right time for me, but I can't wait to drive one. I hope it's sooner than later for me. At the end of the day, you give this Mark V to Supra guys and it's gonna make power for sure. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good car. Taste is subjective, and aesthetically it's not for me, but maybe it's something I'll grow into more too. As time goes on. If you're expecting a bunch of hate from me for the Mark V, I'm sorry, you're not gonna get it. I think they're moving in the right direction, and I think that as the car's not as well received by the community as it should have been maybe initially. I know there's a lot of bad taste and a lot of Toyota purists mouths about the BMW partnership, but I mean, who cares? I mean, the car works clearly, and I mean, I think the community will grow into it ultimately. If it works, I mean, why? What does it matter? I mean, whose engine's in it? I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, the Subaru Toyota deal with the BRZs and stuff like that. I mean, and the FRS. I mean, that happened a long time ago, right? So I mean, these partnerships aren't new to anybody, and it's not a new concept. So I think we can all put our best foot forward and try to see the good in it, and appreciate it for what it is. We can't even begin to appreciate it for what it's going to be. This car's going to be massive. It's going to be all over. They're going to be, I just can't wait. I can't wait for it. It's going to be a whole new, bunch of Supra people out there. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. If you're not, I mean, let me know why. I'd kind of be interested to hear your, what you don't think you're going to like about it. If you own one and you don't like something about it, definitely tell us. Drop it in the comments for sure. If you own one and you do like stuff about it, drop that in the comments too. Who I really want to hear from on this video is guys that own other Supras. Now, if you own a Mark III, you own a Mark IV, and you bought this too, I really want to know the feedback. Good pros, cons, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let us know. Let's make a conversation about this. I think it's a good thing. You know, hopefully you guys do too. I totally get it if you don't. It's new. Again, the GTR was way ahead of its time. I'm pretty sure this car is going to be a similar case to that. It's just a little too new, and maybe with all the anticipation of the FT1, we're just a little underwhelmed with what we got aesthetically. But let me know. See you guys.